Hi, so we're going to recap with a few did you know things. First of all, I want to introduce you to my favorite pizza, and it is a Boston pizza. It is half chicken bourbon, and the other half is basically a mushroom pizza with tomatoes and feta cheese. But they call it a Mediterranean, no pesto, no olives, no mushroom, no onions, extra spinach. So, this is I've been trying to count how many pizzas I've had like this. So one pizza will generally last me 2 days, except if I'm really hungry, then I found I can eat a whole one in like an hour or two. So, I've gotten at least 8 of them. At one point, there was a guy and he was just dishonest. So I told the manager, I said, I think that guy over there, he's a little bit dishonest. And he was like severely dishonest. He was actually lying to me about things that had happened that day or the day before in our discussions. And he's got to know it's all on video camera, but I don't know what he was thinking. Like, was he thinking I just wasn't paying attention and he could trick me with his words? So he was actually trying to get me to agree to a lower price of the pizza so that he could ring it in at the lower number, give me the better pizza, and I would be more inclined to give him a tip. In fact, he wouldn't tell me that I had any change coming and would just keep the rest of the money. So he was a thief. So I told the manager. That was like a pizza number 5, but in the recording I said pizza number 4. So I posted that already, so there's that. But that leads me to be a rather memorable person. And then when someone says, well, did you enjoy the last pizza? I'm saying, well, I came back to have another one. She says, is it the same thing? And I said, well, yeah, because you made it perfectly, so why wouldn't it be? So after a while, that kind of stuff gets noticed, and then they start thinking like, okay, you're weird. And then with the weirdness, it's like, did you say you're staying in a hotel here? I'm like, oh my God, did you want to hear that story too? Like, this is the 5th hotel that I walked to that I couldn't get a room in because none of them would take cash and I didn't have a credit card. And so I was thinking in the back of my head, I could ask somebody else with a credit card and just give them double the cash so I can have the room. I mean, then we all win. But the manager wouldn't even have it. He just sent me on to the next hotel. So when I came to this hotel, and this hotel said, yeah, we can make that work, but we're going to charge you full price. I said, my God, thank you. And then I just kept renewing the room. And so it's been over 2 weeks. So I'm a walk-in cash person that has absolutely no history, no credit cards, running from the Taiwan government, pointing out thieves at the corner of Boston Pizza, recording YouTube videos in a hotel room after having been kicked out of. Can I say that? It was insinuated in a video by one of the homeless people from the shelter, but in actuality, the homeless shelter had, well, they wouldn't let me report a threat that was occurring, and that was causing like a lot of stress, definitely stress, a lot of fear, experienced as fear. So there was that. But then after that, it got even crazier. Then there was the criminal harassment, and then there was the trickery with the locked storage room that was left open, and telling people that you're going to lock the storage up, but then allowing anybody to come and take anything out of the storage without even double checking and make sure that it's their own stuff that they're taking from. That is, I mean, what kind of church is that? Okay, there's a name for that charge. It's false pretenses. That's fraud. And the value of the belongings would substantiate that. And, well, I mean, it's grand fraud. So, but in addition to that, there's also extortion has occurred, violation of religious freedoms. I mean, they're demanding a second baptism. And then there was a threat outside. And at that point, you know, if an employee threatens you outside the door, yeah, you're not kicked out of it. I mean, you can enter the lion's den and sit there and be punished, but is it not wiser to leave the situation as quickly as possible? So that landed me now in this hotel room, and as I'm running out of cash, you know where to go when you're not feeling safe? It's the hospital. And then there's a psychiatrist will investigate me, and then they will understand that I'm really trying to file a police report of theft of my belongings against the Archdiocese of Vancouver because that idiot James Borkowski isn't sending me an inventory check of my belongings that he claims to have in his possession and that he sent me a picture of, but I didn't see all my belongings there. As a matter of fact, half of them were missing. So, and then he's telling me that he's got 2 bags, but it's really like at least 5 bags plus a few other pieces. And then there was a whole bunch of stuff that I had to leave lying on my bunk that I couldn't return to because the employee at the door was telling me that I would have trouble if I entered his door after trying to report thefts, and he had threats in addition to the theft because that happened too. So I'm trying to stay calm while I'm recording this in the hopes that James will find sense and not push the matter further, because after the psychiatrist writes down that I'm not delusional about all of this, then the police will have to press charges, and then the prosecutor is basically on my side, because otherwise I will make a big public scene about the psychiatrist letting me go into a place of fear because the prosecutor decided to take the side of the church. The prosecutor has the right to drop the charges in this case. If the prosecutor drops the charges, this will be a repeat of Ontario, and you can find those details at 2019.talk2dream.com. It's a PDF document titled "The Choice Amidst the Argument in the Business of Being Happy" by yours truly, and I signed it the Antichrist. Just so that they know that I am truly committable to this whole psychiatric nonsense bit. Having now completed the summary, I remember also what it was I was going to say. Well, we've determined that the spirits with me have not wanted to use my body to type little stuff into the telephone, because typing is slower than leaving just a video message to the world, which by now we should hope the N.S.A. is at least double checking, because I've triggered them to double check it. And also they're not competent, and I truly am right now the greatest global threat to their version of whatever it is they call worldwide peace. So whatever it is that they've already got planned, I've just turned that upside down. So basically, because they don't like unknown variables like me coming along, they want to do a thorough investigation, and they've got a 12-year track record to look through, and it's all completely transparent. It's all already online. It's in multiple courthouses in multiple countries, and we're having a hoot of a time. And Taiwan is lying to the world about Taipei supposedly being the capital of China, so the USA supporting Taiwan is actually directly supporting dictatorship. Because the Taiwan government claims to be democratic, but if you're ordering your population to believe that Taipei is the rightful capital of China, and you make a security law that enforces the order so that anybody like me who opposes it has to flee the country, otherwise we get put unquestionably in jail, you're a dictator. You've got a dictatorship. And so, because you've got a dictatorship and the people of China voted for you to be democratic, we have a legal international lawsuit against the government if the government does not relinquish full control to the mainland Chinese authority. And if the U.S. backs Taiwan in any way, then the U.S. is directly and publicly backing a dictator and actually a nationalist traitor, because he's turned on the people who made the agreement in the Constitution of the Republic of China in order to maintain a one China. The people never wanted Taiwan to separate, and Taiwan has been lying about it. So that's basically the summary there. Video to Lindsay is coming up. It's a nice one. She explains things in her way. That's even more wonderful. She's got actually a beautiful voice. I'm sure there was something else I wanted to say. So I'm enjoying the movie Thor 4. I'm going to get to the video that has the Taiwan stuff for the petition at talk2dream.com. It's just I'm not very motivated to do that yet, and I'm trying my best to get motivated, but well, I wouldn't be human if I wasn't procrastinating on something. So